so many insights have been coming up. Trauma that I didn't even really know I had, and processing things, and just things coming up from past experiences that I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm gonna talk about it. I haven't decided yet. I'll probably talk about it later in the video during the full moon ritual that I have planned. Yeah. So well, the first part of the ritual is I'm gonna dip it in the lake water and just leave it, so it will leave it like with water on it, like just chilling somewhere. So I put it in the lake and then take it out and then just put it somewhere and then just let it dry out until the full moon, and then I'm gonna light it on fire. So yeah, I like to do a little bit of both. And it kind of gets the other elements too. I mean, maybe not so much earth, but you get the air. And I guess I'm doing it in nature, so that's kind of get a little earth there too. It's a lake, so yeah. So I'll talk about that one. So it's cutting ties and letting go, and I have, probably won't show you because it has people's names on it. A few people's names, and realizing that I was like depressed and anxious and dissociating when I was younger too, and like wanting some of the relationships back. You know what I'm saying? And liking the energy and the vibe, and realizing that I can make it for myself as well, like change the vibe, and some things that I can do that, you know, might help change the energy a little. Cute. Some things to make me feel more strong in myself, to learn about myself, and to honor myself. And if I don't like the I don't know, listening to myself and my like energy frequency, and how like some of my trauma made me want to like control how I feel, and like I want to like feel cool and like have fun. You know, it's just a certain energy frequency signature that like it's like cool, you know, like everyone's cool and we're all chilling, you know, the vibes. And wanting to like be in control of my feelings, and that like that's not the only energy signature that I enjoy. I enjoy a lot of energy signatures. So it's not just the feeling like I'm cool and I'm like, I don't know. That is a good expression though. You know, sometimes that's good to express that, and like just that weird feeling of like, it's so hard to describe energy signatures. But yeah, I guess I want to like control my feelings because of my past trauma, and I just didn't think it was a big deal. So like I always knew it happened, but like I just didn't think it was a big deal. So yeah. Is there anything That's the only thing about this paper. And I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm like missing something, but I'm probably just like dissociating and like, I don't know, maybe anxious, depressed, you know? So, yeah. And then on the top, I have the date that I wrote it. Or I don't even have the date on it. Well, I said Libra, waxing moon, day 15. If you know, girls, I'm sorry. People with uteruses, you know what I'm saying. Day 15. Lilith and Libra oppose the North Node, and if it's opposed to the North Node, then it's conjunct the South Node. So I was like, ooh, I gotta write this down. And that was happening around that time where things were coming up, and like I'm like coming to terms with the fact that of my mental illness and how it is now and how it was when I was younger and how it's affected me. Just having mental illness has affected me in general. Like, I know it's a defense mechanism, but like it's kind of traumatic on its own. So yeah, I'm gonna dip that in the lake and take it out and just let it sit for a little bit, and then let go of people that I need to let go of, and things that I need to let go of, and energy that I need to let go of, and create my own, like, things that my own energy that I enjoy. Like, there's more energies in the world, and like, what do I enjoy instead of just, I don't know, feeling cool is like, it's good, but it like the way that I am wanting it and feeling it is kind of unhealthy, and like kind of wanting to control how I feel. Like, I don't know, like control my feelings. It's kind of hard to describe. I'm like weird with my healing and trauma. Like, my trauma is really weird. And like my mental illness and like what I need to heal from, like, it's just weird. Like, most people don't really, I don't think most people, at least not that I know of, feel the same way, that like energy signatures, like wanting to feel a certain way, like, yeah. And I think it is also a way to just express myself. I felt like I wanted to express myself. And I don't really know much about expression. I think I should really probably work on expression next. Because I know myself. I'm very authentic and like self-loving, but I'm not very good at like expressing that outwards, if you know what I'm saying. Or like, I also need to work on spelling and changing the energy, because I'm honestly not that good at that either. And I don't know, I think it's just I haven't done it in a while either, so I don't even know. I gotta work on that. And it's also a remembering thing, because I can never remember to do it, to change the energy. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Yeah. So recently I'm kind of mad because my body doesn't match my soul. Like this depression and anxiety doesn't make sense because I'm like not having any of the thoughts, and like my soul was like, I don't know what you believe, okay? But they're separate in some sort of way, okay? The self, the body, like they're separate in some sort of way. Maybe they're connected. Maybe I'll die when I die. I don't know, but like they're separate. Because I'm like my soul, I'm like almost getting hurt in my soul because my soul doesn't match my body. I'm like and this trauma that affected my body so much didn't even like doesn't even make as much sense as like the other things that bother my soul. Like I feel like there are things that bother my soul and there are things that bother my body. And like cuz like after a while I feel like things don't hurt as much, and time does heal those wounds in your soul, but it doesn't heal the wounds in your body though. I think that's just lighting. Like I just feel like I don't know. I feel like they're separate and something's weird going on here. Not to push on my beliefs on anyone, but something weird feels like is going on here. Because why? I guess like this gives evidence for science, honestly, like evolution and fear and stuff like that. Good one on science, I guess, even though I don't know what I believe. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know what I believe. Um, but that doesn't really matter anyway. So, because no one really knows the truth. Um, I was just saying, it's not the same. Like the wounds that are in my soul and the wounds that are in my body are like separate. Like sometimes they're the same. Sometimes they connect and overlap, but like they're still not, it's still not the same, you know. Like these, I don't know, these traumas like that didn't affect me, but what really did affect me was like being in that traumatized state for so long from my body. Like my body affected me, honestly. That like bothered me, feeling like I missed out on a lot of time, that like I could have been taking care of myself and listening to myself. And now I have to go through this whole healing process. It's like, I don't know. And I feel like that actual trauma that affected my body is just like, I don't think it would affect me as much if my body didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was just soul, I feel like it wouldn't affect me that much. Um, Maybe it would, like in the moment, but I was so young that like I wasn't even there anyway. So like I don't know, it wouldn't have affected me unless I was like actually in the moment. Then it would have probably affected me more. But like I was young, I didn't have consciousness, I didn't really feel anything. Nothing too crazy happened either. Like, I don't know, I didn't really think that way. Like, that it's trauma. I thought more like, oh, this is kind of feels weird, but like, I'm sure it's fine. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know, but I still feel like my body is separate from my soul because my soul like doesn't need that much time to get over it. Like, even if I didn't know it was traumatic, like, it doesn't need all of this. Like, all it really, like, I feel like my soul is a lot stronger than my body. So, like, my soul doesn't need, like, all this dissociation and stuff. Like, I probably would have been fine feeling my emotions and crying about it. I'm like strong, I feel, like, emotionally, but I'm emotionally numb. Like, 'cause I feel like my soul is emotionally stronger than my body, because my body is just like messing with me, honestly. It's like this anxiety. I literally don't have any anxious thoughts or anything, and I like go through it and I'm like, I still feel anxious though. Like, it's a body thing. Whatever. So I do think emotions and stuff are trapped in the body. I do think that, like, a lot, because um without that, like, I feel like my soul would feel completely different about everything in my life. Maybe if that trauma happened later in life, it would have affected me more. Like, it would have affected me a lot more, because when I was younger, I like didn't really care about anything. I wasn't conscious. I was dissociating, like, all of that stuff. So, like, I don't know. Probably wasn't like as bad as if it would happen now. But that's also a soul thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just being honest too. I don't know if anyone feels the same way. If you feel a different way, then, like, I just love yourself, okay? Just love yourself. No matter how you feel about your body, your soul, the world, your wounds, just love yourself, okay? It's okay to feel that way. Like, I'm not judging you. And don't judge other people either. Like, how I feel is well, it's probably normal. It's probably more normal than we think it is. So yeah. Math is making me crazy. Seriously, it's like making me cry. I don't even know why I didn't even do that much of it. Like, I'm just such a, like, lazy wimp that, like, I do like a few questions and then I'm like done. Like, I can't deal with it. And I have like huge emotions, so like whenever I actually feel an emotion, like, it's very intense. So, like, not only is my brain stop working after a few questions, because I don't know, it's a muscle and I gotta work it or something, but like, I just get irritable and like have big emotions. I really am just like talking to you because I don't want to distract myself this time. And distraction also isn't just like substances. Like, I can scroll Instagram, I can play a funny video right now, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna feel it. Which I never really do. Yeah. And like, it's crazy that when you're younger and a kid and like even a baby, like, the goal is to stop crying. Stop them from crying. Stop them from feeling. Like, shouldn't the goal be like, let them express, or ask them what's wrong? Maybe they're too young for that, but like, ask what's going on. I guess it's hard in the moment because, like, it's hard to speak while you're crying and stuff, but like, I don't know, even the end goal of like, be happy again is like kind of pressuring, because it's like, I don't want to. I feel very upset, and like, things like that is just not gonna help. Unless you are like ignoring your emotions, which leads to so much more issues. Like, I don't even care if you ignore your emotions. Like, I think we should be able to, but like, our bodies are like, no, I'm gonna make you dissociate. I'm gonna make you anxious. I'm gonna make you depressed. Because, yeah. So, like, we just gotta honor our emotions, I guess. Just a little talk. So, prediction on why people, on like, or idea. So, you know how people are like, staying in depression will keep you stuck and like make you more depressed, which is not how depression works. But it might keep you stuck, because if you are just expressing your depression, which is needed, you need to express your depression as well. So don't forget that part. But also, you need to express your wounds and what you like, to feel your feelings as well. You know? Like, your depression doesn't really end until, like, you start going through your wounds, right? Or how you feel about your current life can also affect your depression, of course. People, I feel like, miss that. But that's the thing, you need to express that you feel a certain way. And you also need to express the part of you that caused you to feel that way. So you need to express both of them. That's the problem, is people are just expressing the, like, one or the other. But you need both. Hey, even the girlies that are like, oh, be positive. Oh, and here are the wounds. Positivity, here are the wounds. That's going to make you go crazy. You need to lay down and be like, I have wounds. I am depressed. I'm not just going to logically go through them or even feel them out. Like, I need to realize that this is affecting me. And I mean, it depends on on the person how much expression you need to express your depression. But I feel like we need to express our depression a little bit. It makes us go a little crazy. To express not necessarily depression, but all of it. Like, express that you have mental illness. And maybe lay in bed all day. Maybe that's okay. And it's like, not if you're doing it every day. Like, if you're doing it every day, then there's an issue. And then that should be telling you that there's an issue. You shouldn't just be like, oh, gotta get up and exercise and do all this stuff. You should be like, okay, am I actually feeling my emotions, or am I just expressing my mental illness? Am I expressing or am I feeling? You need both. You need to express and feel. So try feeling it while you're in bed. And don't force it. That's also a thing, is I feel like when you're in it so long that you force it a little bit because it feels comfortable or it feels right or it feels like you should be forcing it, but you shouldn't be forcing any feelings. So I think that's also why people say staying depressed keeps you stuck, is because you're like, sometimes you do force it a little bit because it's comfortable. But this idea that like we need to just get up and like ignore our problems is not healthy either. I think we just need to like honor what we really feel, and I feel like a lot of times we're just lying to ourselves anyway. So I feel like we should just be honest. And the way to be honest with how you feel is not by asking. It's not by being like, what do I feel? This is important. Logic it out. You can't logic feelings. You have to just erase everything from your mind. No thoughts. Thoughts are not important right now. It's the feelings. And then just don't do anything. Don't force it. Don't do anything. Just notice. Don't try to feel it more intensely or less intensely. Just notice it's there. Like, just psychic. It's almost like a psychic muscle too. Like, you gotta like observe in there, you know, in your body and see what's going down in your body. So yeah, I feel like that's like, yeah, but I feel like we should be expressing our mental illness more. I feel like a lot people are like, oh no, you're gonna get stuck if you express your mental illness. If you lay in bed all day, you're gonna get stuck. And it's like, I'm depressed. I want to feel better. I don't care about work. Like, I want to feel good. Like, work culture much? Like, get better culture much? Like, learn your lesson culture much? Like, growth culture much? Like, no. we have mental illness. Okay, it's not fun for us. Like, we're trying to feel better. We're not like laying in bed all day because it's like, I don't know. Well, we are. Who cares? Like, work culture much? Like, we have mental illness and you're like, get up and start exercising and make you feel better. It's like, no. We have feelings to feel, and like, that should be an option when you actually feel like that's the best option for you. Then that's the best option for you. But a lot of times that's not the best option. I'm sure everyone's different and everyone needs different things at different times. But like, I just feel like it's too rush culture. Just add culture to anything. Rush culture. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it rush culture. That's the, you got to get up, you got to fix it, you got to get better. Like, what about my emotions? Like, oh yeah, I'm working and like, but I hate my life. Oh, I have money, but like, I hate my life. Like, congrats, I have money. Like, oh great, I want to die. Like, congratulations. So like, normalize us laying in bed and like feeling our feelings. Like, I think the only people who say that are people who are like not depressed or who have already healed their depression, like, or not healed it, but they're doing it themselves, they're ignoring it themselves, and it does work to a certain extent, and then it goes backfire on you and it makes everything worse. So like, yeah, sure, it'll work a little bit. Like, you won't notice you have emotions, but your body will still notice, and your body will cause havoc on you. Like, I have stomach issues. I know what I'm talking about. Like, I like randomly get sick and like feel intense like digestion. I don't even know why. Like, it's just intense, like almost like cells like moving and shit. Like, I can feel the cells in my body. That's a different thing. I don't think that's mental illness. I think that's just the stomach issues is mental illness. But I think I also feel like food and stuff. I don't know if I'm the only one. That's unrelated. But yeah, I just feel like we should be nicer to people. And like, I get that it might help you and it might have been your holy grail, but like, it might also make someone else hate themselves to the point where they can't heal. So you got to really pick your battles, you know? Like, you got to listen to yourself. That's the only way. And like, everyone's so different. And even if you can't listen to yourself and you can't get the right answers, then try stuff out. Like, sure, try it out then. And if it feels like you're stuck or it feels like you need to move, then move. Like, I feel like people who say this are mostly people who aren't depressed and who just get some depression sometimes, you know, who aren't actually like long-term depressed, but that like once they get depression, they're like, don't stay in it, because then I don't know. I'm trying my hardest to like logic it, but it's kind of rude. Yeah, it's not gonna make it worse. I'm sorry. It's probably gonna make it a lot better, honestly. That's probably why they're trying to tell you not to do that, is because it makes it better. What? Laying in bed all day or laying in bed and feeling your emotions is not the same as laying in bed all day. It's laying in bed feeling your emotions. Like, they're missing a part. They don't see us feeling our emotions when we do that. Like, we are like releasing things, and like, even like, maybe we force it sometimes. Maybe some people do, like when they're already like feeling better, they might be like, oh, but depression is comfortable. That's probably more dissociation. Like,
This is just ridiculous. Like, we're feeling our feelings. Like, it depends on the person, I think. Like, how much are they actually listening to themselves? But most people are better at listening to themselves than they think. They just are scared to. And that's fine, because I was scared to for years. Like, I was really on this journey for years. So, like, honestly, please don't feel bad about anything I'm saying, because honestly, I'm 22 and I started my journey when I was like 19, 18. And I just admitted my mental illness. I just admitted that I have dissociation. I ignored it. Toxic happy culture. What is it called? Toxic positivity. I did that. I was drawing art and like, I was like, oh, I'm depressed, but I know I'm depressed, so I don't need to feel it. That was my logic, literally. It's like, I know I'm depressed, so like... No, actually, you know what? I think I was dissociating. I don't know. I just didn't get to the right lesson. I don't want to say lessons because that's so toxic. Learn your lessons. Like, who cares? I didn't get to the right traumas because I just couldn't. I wasn't feeling my feelings. I was like kind of feeling them, but like not enough. Like I was expressing my feelings, but I wasn't feeling them. See what I mean? Expressing them without feeling them. That's what I'm saying. I was expressing them, but I didn't feel them. I wasn't laying in bed all day. I was doing the toxic positivity, but I was also like healing, but like my healing was just like, oh, it happened from childhood. It must have been this. It must have been this. And it's just like, don't do it in reverse. Don't do it in reverse. Do it straight up, okay? Feel your feelings, then find the traumas. Don't find the traumas, then the feelings. It never works. It never works. Find the feelings, then the traumas. Never the trauma, then the feeling. Feeling, then trauma. Feeling, then trauma. Feeling, then trauma. Don't do it the other way because it will not work. You will be like, why am I not feeling anything over this trauma? It was traumatic. And even if it is a trauma that you have, like, you won't be able to feel it because like you're too in your head. So you won't be able to feel it and see if it's actually a trauma or not. You can't really go through trauma like with your thoughts. Thought is like half of the healing. Like, you have to do the feeling part. You can't do one or the other. And you could probably get away with doing the feelings without the thoughts, but you can't do the thoughts without the feelings. I don't know if you could get away with that. I've never tried. I do both. But I'm sure you could get away with just the feelings too. I'm like sweating. It's like hot in here. I'm wearing like long sleeves. I'm an idiot. Yeah. So I hope you got the right message out of that and like it helped you in some sort of way. I'm basically explaining healing and shit. But oops. I'm not cutting that out. I'm too lazy. Good luck. Wish me luck.